From stories around the world to stories here at home, this is the National News Broadcast. A pleasant evening. I'm Delanjali Ananda.
A very good evening indeed. I'm Charita Vilipurarachi, and now let's move on to the headlines for tonight's news. The World Health Organization commends Sri Lanka's COVID-19 control program. National Medicinal Drugs Regulatory Authority approves Pfizer vaccine. Chinese Sinopharm vaccine will be available from next week for the people. A project launched to provide 10,000 beds within 10 days for COVID patients. Construction of the first phase of Ruwanpura Expressway begins. On to those and other stories in detail now, and starting off with local stories. The talks between President Gotabaya Rajapaksa and Director General of World Health Organization Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus have brought successful results. The discussions took place virtually over Zoom technology. Dr. Tedros, who appreciated the steps taken by the government to control the COVID, has told the President that they would fully support the efforts. Dr. Tedros commended the leadership given by President Gotabaya Rajapaksa to control the pandemic by successfully facing the first COVID wave. The Director General said that a summit held under the leadership of the World Health Organization discussed the success achieved by Sri Lanka. The World Health Organization expressed belief that Sri Lanka government would be able to control the spread of the virus soon. There is a global need of 20 million AstraZeneca vaccines for the second dose. Sri Lanka needs 600,000 doses of the vaccine. The President said that he expected the support of the World Health Organization to meet the requirement. Dr. Tedros said that the World Health Organization approval for Sinopharm vaccine could be given within next 3 days. The President pointed out that the approval more people in Sri Lanka can be given Sinopharm vaccine. The President appreciated the support given at regional level by the World Health Organization and its office in Colombo. Meanwhile, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa directed officials today to expedite importing and giving COVID-19 vaccines. The President mentioned this during a meeting of COVID-19 committee at the Presidential Secretariat this morning. The President said that vaccine should be given within a short period of time and with a maximum capacity. It was emphasized that a special attention should be paid to the Western province. Meanwhile, giving of Sputnik vaccine produced in Russia commenced yesterday. The health authorities are in possession of 600,000 Sinopharm vaccines received from China. More than 55 million people in 51 countries have been successfully given the Sinopharm vaccine. The President instructed officials to look into the possibility of getting down the vaccine soon following discussions with the health authorities in those countries. Those who were given the first dose of this AstraZeneca vaccine are being given the second dose now. Discussions have been held already with the countries which have a surplus of the vaccine. The officials pointed out that maximum measures have been taken to control the spread of the virus. Steps have been taken to maintain facilities at all hospitals as needed. The officials emphasized that the support of the people is essential to successfully control the spread of the virus.
State Minister Professor Channa Jayasinghe said that Chinese Sinopharm vaccine will be given to the people from next week. He mentioned this while expressing his views to the national television. State Minister Professor Channa Jayasinghe said that Sri Lankans will be given the Chinese Sinopharm vaccine from next week. On a request of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, the Chinese government has given 600 doses of Sinopharm vaccine to the country. 2,500 Chinese nationals staying in Sri Lanka have been given 2 doses. No side effects have been reported from them. He said that arrangements will be made to give the vaccine from next week by identifying the high-risk Graminadavi divisions.
And meanwhile, National Medicinal Drugs Regulatory Authority has approved the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine. State Minister Dr. Sudarshani Fernandopulle mentioned this while attending a media briefing today. State Minister Dr. Sudarshani Fernandopulle said that the approval of the National Medicinal Drugs Regulatory Authority has been given to the Pfizer vaccine. Arrangements have been already made to import 5 million Pfizer vaccines. The second dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine has begun given to 174,800 under the COVID-19 inoculation program. Sputnik V vaccine was given for the first time yesterday at Gotatua Medical Officers area. 669 persons have been given the vaccine. Sputnik V vaccine was given today at Mullaria of Rahul Vidyalaya. 1,000 have been vaccinated at the school. The vaccination program will be implemented until the 15th of this month in that area. Sri Lanka Gynecologist Association said that accordingly, global and local data, newborn babies being infected with COVID-19 is at a low level. The Health Ministry says that it has been confirmed that Dhammika Bandara syrup is not a treatment for COVID patients. Director General of Health Services Dr. Asela Gunawardena said that they have received clinical report and it's confirmed that Dhammika Bandara syrup is not a treatment for COVID-19 patients. He said that the tests were conducted by a group of Western and indigenous doctors.
පරීක්ෂණය කටයුතු මෙහෙයුවේ බටහිර සහ දේශීය වෛද්‍ය කණ්ඩායමක් විසින්.
The Ayurvedic Medical Council says that they are taking steps to prevent the public being misled by Ayurvedic medicine prescriptions published over social media. The Ayurvedic Medical Council said that legal actions will be taken against the persons who make misleading statements on the use of prescriptions without any research confirmation on curing COVID-19. A total of 1,097 COVID-19 patients were detected today. Meanwhile, 878 recoveries were also reported today. So far, the total recoveries in the country has increased up to 101,763 and at a percentage of 84.44. A total of 18,013 COVID-19 patients are still receiving treatments in hospitals. 11 COVID-19 deaths were reported yesterday from Inamaluwa, Kuliyapitiya, Katuvana, Benthota, Siduwa, Mallavagedara, Gelioya, Jaffna, Udawalawa, Bolutota and Colombo 3. Meanwhile, 436 who have not been following health protective measures have been arrested during the 24 hours ended at 6 a.m. today.
Chief Epidemiologist Dr. Siddharth Samaravira said that Ministry of Health has paid its attention on giving the COVID vaccine to pregnant mothers.
We are experiencing that more and more pregnant mothers are getting COVID-19 infection, and also we are experiencing that when they are getting the infection, they get more complications of COVID-19 as well as their pregnancy is going into complication. This affects their unborn child, or that they will have a premature childbirth and some other complications. Because of that, at the moment, all the pregnant mothers getting extra care not to get this infection is very important. These pregnant mothers should be stay at their home as much as possible, should not expose to the other society, other people, and that are getting the risk of the infection. So these pregnant mothers, when they are at home, the other members in the home also should take extra care about these pregnant mothers. Consultants are recommending that pregnant mothers should get the COVID-19 vaccine. At the moment, the Minister of Health is considering that Minister of Health will get the expert opinion on this and evaluate the experiences in other countries, and then that will take a decision on vaccinating pregnant mothers as.
Providing of a parcel of essential food valuing 10,000 rupees by the government for the families under quarantine due to pandemic has begun. It is implemented island-wide. 380 families are under quarantine at Hinguragoda Divisional Secretariat area in the Polonnaruwa district. They are at Jayantipura, Unagalawehera, Siriketa, Jayapura and Hinguragoda villages. The parcels were distributed also at Moratua and Valimala Divisional Secretariat areas in the Kandy district.
Minister of Education Professor G.L. Pires said that schools, preschools, pre-event tuition classes and universities will be kept closed until further notice. During a media briefing in Colombo today, Minister said that the government is bound to assure health protection of the students. Minister Professor G.L. Pires said that the government is keen to continue with educational activities. However, priority should be given to the health security of students. The schools and universities will be opened as soon as the situation improves. The minister said that a minimum of 3 days will be given prior to announcing the date of the opening.
Constructions of the first phase of the Ruwanpura Expressway commenced today under the patronage of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. The first phase will be built from Kahatuduwa to Ingeriya. The Prime Minister launched the project from the temple trees using new technology due to the pandemic. It is the 7th expressway of the country. It takes more than 2.5 hours to travel 10 kilometers up to Ratnapura from Colombo on the high-level road. This is due to the heavy traffic congestion up to Avisavela area. With the completion of the expressway, it will be possible to reach Ratnapura from Kahathuduwa in less than 1 hour. The Ruwanpura expressway commences from Kahathuduwa interchange and it will be built up to Palmadulla through Horana, Ingiriya, Kiriyalla, Kuruvita and Ratnapura. It has a distance of 73.9 kilometers. The project is implemented under the 3 phases. The first phase includes 24.3 kilometers and 54.7 billion rupees will be spent on the project. The first phase is expected to be completed in 2.5 years. The Road Development Authority has done the planning and will monitor the project while Maga Engineering Company is in charge of the constructions. The feasibility study of the Ruwanpura Expressway has been conducted by a local company. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa said that they always wanted to develop the country and to meet the aspirations of the people. The Prime Minister said that the government will be committed to achieve its policies despite obstacles. Those who criticize the expressway most are using the expressways now. The constructions of the Central Expressway are taking place at present. The Prime Minister said that the stretch from Mirigama to Pothuhera would be vested with the public soon. Minister Johnston Fernando has paid a special attention in this regard. The Maga Naguma project has commenced work on the stretch from Pothuhera to Galagadara. The first expressway, which is the Southern Expressway, was commenced while there was a war ongoing in 2006. Constructions of the Ruwanpura Expressway have begun in the country. But the entire world, the government is giving priority to protect the world from people from COVID-19 pandemic. The government has not moved out of the path of the government development of the country despite numerous difficulties. A good road network is a factor of development of the country. It has been clearly stated that in Mahinda Chintana Vision and Vistas of Prosperity statement, the country cannot be locked down due to the pandemic. While fighting against the pandemic, economic situation of the people should be improved. It will not be difficult to control the situation if people follow health advice. Therefore, the Prime Minister requested the people to follow advice given by health authorities. He further requested the people to join to face the challenge this time together. Minister Dinesh Gunawardena, Bandula Gunawardena, Rohita Be Gunawardena, Vasudeva Nanayakkara, Pavitra Vanyarachi, State Minister Vidura Vikramanayaka, Janaka Kumbara, Jayant Samaravira, parliamentarians and Prime Minister's Secretary Gamini Senarath were present on this occasion. The head of the Presidential Task Force for Economic Revival and Poverty Elimination, Basil Rajapaksa, says that steps have been taken to provide 10,000 beds to treat COVID patients within 10 days. A discussion in this regard took place yesterday at the Temple Trees. The program is implemented covering 13 districts including Colombo, Gampaha, Kalutara, Kandy, Kurunegala and Gol. Mr. Basil Rajapaksa said that the program to provide 10,000 beds will be conducted under the supervision of District Coordinating Committee Chairman and the contribution of governors and parliamentarians of Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna. District Coordinating Committee were also entrusted with providing necessary equipment to district treatment centres. Sports Minister Namal Rajapaksa will give the leadership to the operation together with the youth organisations. Meanwhile, Sri Lanka Engineers Front has launched a volunteer program to rectify shortcomings at hospitals. The heads of the Presidential Task Force, Basil Rajapaksa, said that a main aim is to get the contribution of Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna to meet the needs of the state. Minister Pavitra Vanyarachi, public representatives and state officials attended the discussion.
The public-centric statement for Vistas of Prosperity prepared by the Democratic Left Front to take forward the Vistas of Prosperity program was presented to President Gotabaya Rajapaksa today at the Presidential Secretariat. Leader of the Democratic Left Front presented the document to the President. The statement includes the party's action on many points, including giving priority to national security, implementing a non-aligned friendly foreign relations policy, building a state administration without fraud and corruption, and a constitutional amendment accountable to the people. The Democratic Left Front has planned to conduct 100 conferences to educate the rural communities about the program presented in the statement. Munaragla District MP Dr. Gayashan Navanandana was present on the occasion.
The police special task force arrested the 21-year-old youth who was in possession of more than 6 kilograms of ice and hash. He was arrested on Blue Mandal, Alutmavada area in Colombo yesterday. It has been revealed that the person who was arrested in an accomplice of Surej, who is maintaining the drug racket of Kibula Aleguna, who is maintaining the racket from overseas. The anti-organized criminal unit of STF says the 2 kilograms and 22 grams of ice, 4 kilograms and 527 grams of hash and 400,000 rupees suspected to have earned from the drug racket were taken into custody. The suspect has been handed over to the Anti-Narcotics Bureau for the further investigations. And meanwhile, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa says that teachers as well as principals should commit themselves for higher examinations results of their students. The Prime Minister mentioned this when he met 2 students of Homagama Mahinda Rajapaksa Vidyalaya today at the Temple Trees. They have scored high marks at the GCE advanced level examinations. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa says that teachers as well as principals should be committed for high results at examinations. Accordingly, Navin Ravishkar and Bhanuka Vikramasinghe met the Prime Minister. Navin Ravishkar has become the second in biotechnology stream in the country. Bhanuka Vikramasinghe is on the 4th place in engineering technology stream. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa pointed out that children do not intend not to admit only at popular schools, and there is a tendency of parents to admit children at schools which show high results. Principal of the school, M.R. Kasan Gunaratna, said that students from various areas in the country, including Anuradhapura, Kilinochchi, Nikavaratia and Ratnapura, are getting enrolled at Homagama Mahinda Rajapaksa Vidyalaya to study technology subjects. Homagama Mahinda Rajapaksa Vidyalaya is the first school in South Asia which commenced teaching technology subjects. 6,800 students are studying at the school at present. There are 315 teachers at the school. Minister Bandula Gunawardena and President's parents and students were present on this occasion.
Arrangements are being made to enable to listen the Ratana Sutra chanting from India, which is being chanted from the premises of Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation at present. The aim is to wish for good health of the people in India who have been affected by the COVID pandemic. Chanting of Ratana Sutra commenced in October last year to invoke blessings on the world community affected by the pandemic. Today is the 183rd day of the program. It is being broadcast all over India on shortwave 873 of SLBC's Sinhala, Tamil, English and regional services. It was broadcast today from 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. It will be broadcast from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. from tomorrow to the 13th of this month. A repeat of the same will broadcast on the following day from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. over the Asian in Hindi service of Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. State Minister Tharaka Balasurya, Media Ministry Secretary Jagat Vijayveera, SLBC Director General Chandrapala Liyanage and a group of people were present on the occasion.
And that's it for tonight news. Do it just tomorrow, the very same time. Stay safe. Good night.
Good night.